What would your life look like if you let go of everything that no longer serves you? I don't mean a quick tidy up or hiding the mess in boxes. I mean getting rid of things, really letting go. What if your overflowing drawers, jam-packed closets, chaotic garage, and cluttered home weren't just making your house messy, but were silently stealing your peace, your time, and your energy? That's the realization I had at the start of this year. My house was full. On the outside, it looked like any other home. But inside, I felt buried. Stuff was everywhere. Every shelf, every storage bin, every closet was overflowing. My garage was packed wall to wall with boxes I hadn't opened in years. And despite constantly tidying, I always felt behind, always tired, always anxious. That's when I finally asked myself, Part 1, the emotional cost of clutter, how IT was silently taking over my life. Before I even touched a single item to throw away, I had to confront the emotional weight of what I was living with. Everywhere I looked, there were reminders of the past, failed projects, gifts I never liked but felt guilty getting rid of, and clothes I swore I'd wear again one day but never did. Each object whispered stories, regrets, and obligations, and as those objects piled up, so did my mental load. The clutter wasn't just in my home, it was in my head, creating a fog that made it hard to think clearly or feel grounded. My days began with stress. I couldn't find what I needed. My mind was constantly distracted by messes in every corner. I was cleaning all the time but never actually felt clean. That's the paradox of clutter. It tricks you into thinking you're managing it, while it quietly manages you. Part 2, the garage, unpacking years of forgotten stuff and unfinished stories. I chose to begin with the garage, not because it was easy, but because it was the place I avoided the most. It was a holding cell for broken appliances, rusty tools, holiday decorations, old bikes, and unopened boxes from my last move, boxes I hadn't touched in years. This space had become the junk drawer of my entire house, and deep down, I was scared to open the door. The garage wasn't just cluttered, it was heavy with history. So, I didn't do it alone. I brought in a garage decluttering service to guide me through the process. Their expertise wasn't just in lifting and sorting, it was in helping me make decisions. We categorized everything: keep, donate, recycle, sell, or trash. And with every item I let go of, I felt lighter. Every dusty corner we cleared felt like a piece of my past loosening its grip. Old sports gear I hadn't used in a decade, gone. Boxes labeled misc with things I couldn't even recognize. Ow! Forgotten gadgets, tangled cables, dusty camping gear, and furniture I swore I'd fix someday but never did. They were all part of a past I didn't need to carry forward. The more I cleared, the more I could breathe. The team from the Declutter company was respectful and kind. They didn't judge, they listened. They understood that every item had a story, but they also helped me see the truth. I didn't need to hold onto those stories to honor them. What mattered wasn't the stuff, it was the memory, and I could keep that without the clutter. By the time the garage was empty, I wasn't just looking at a clean space. I was standing in a room full of possibilities. What used to be a burden was now a place of peace. I saw potential where I used to see paralysis. That space became symbolic of what my entire home and my life could become. Part 3, my closet, stripping down to what I truly love and wear. After conquering the garage, I moved on to a space that was both familiar and frustrating: my closet. For years, it was bursting at the seams, filled with clothes, shoes, scarves, and accessories I rarely used but held onto just in case. I thought having a huge wardrobe meant I'd always have the perfect outfit. But every morning, standing in front of that cluttered mess, I felt overwhelmed and indecisive. I had so many options, but none of them felt right. The truth was, my cluttered closet was draining my energy and confidence. To tackle this, I called in a professional home organizer who specialized in closet decluttering. Together, we took everything out. Yes, everything. Part 4, facing the hardest spaces, decluttering like a hoarder with professional support. After clearing the garage and my closet, I faced what I thought would be the hardest part of this journey: the spaces I had long ignored, the attic, the basement, and a few storage closets packed floor to ceiling with boxes. These were the places where clutter had truly taken over, and honestly, it felt like I was living in a hoarder's house. The thought of opening those doors filled me with anxiety. I realized that these spaces weren't just about physical stuff, they were emotional traps. I had kept birthday cards, old receipts, half-used notebooks, expired makeup, broken electronics, and even childhood toys, all just in case I'd need them again someday. But that someday never came, and all these things became heavy weights, silently dragging me down. So, I made the important decision to get professional help. I hired clutter clearing services with experience in house cleaning for hoarders and deep cleaning for hoarders. Their compassionate team didn't judge me. Instead, they understood how overwhelming and emotional this process was. They helped me take small steps, sorting through piles, categorizing items, and deciding what truly needed to stay. With their support, I learned that decluttering a hoarder-level space isn't about rushing or forcing. It's about patience, kindness, and respect for yourself and your history. I cried as I let go of items I thought I could never part with, but with every box cleared, I felt lighter, freer. The professionals also provided a thorough deep cleaning hoarder's house service, sanitizing and refreshing the spaces as we cleared them. This was a literal and figurative cleansing, a chance to reset and start fresh. By the end of this phase, I had transformed the most daunting parts of my home into organized, usable spaces. What was once cluttered and suffocating became bright, open, and inviting. I didn't just clean my home, I healed my relationship with my belongings and myself. Part 5. Maintaining the peace, how to keep your home clutter-free and calm. After going through the intense journey of extreme decluttering and transforming my home, I realized that the real challenge wasn't just getting rid of stuff, it was keeping clutter from creeping back in. It's easy to get overwhelmed again if you don't have a system in place. So, the last step of my minimalism journey in 2025 was to create habits and routines that would help me maintain the peace I had worked so hard to achieve. I started by setting clear boundaries for new things I brought into my home. Before buying anything, I asked myself, do I really need this? Does it add value to my life? This simple question saved me from impulse purchases that would later add to clutter. I also made a habit of regularly reviewing my belongings every few months. I'd do a quick declutter session, especially focusing on spaces like the closet or kitchen drawers where clutter tends to build up fast. To keep things organized, I occasionally hired professional declutterers near me for a fresh perspective and deeper clean. Their expertise helped me maintain a clutter-free environment without feeling overwhelmed. They offered valuable tips on storage solutions, seasonal rotations for clothes, and even how to keep my garage neat with minimal effort. I also learned the importance of daily tidying. Spending just 10 to 15 minutes each day putting things back in their place prevented clutter from piling up. Decluttering became a lifestyle, not a one-time event. Decluttering my home was more than just throwing things away. It was a powerful journey of self-discovery and healing. From the overwhelming chaos of forgotten boxes in the garage to the emotional hurdles of letting go in my closet and deep cleaning spaces that felt like a hoarder's nightmare, I reclaimed not just my space but my peace of mind. This extreme decluttering journey in 2025 taught me that minimalism is about freedom from stress, decision fatigue, and the weight of things that no longer serve us. If you're feeling overwhelmed by clutter, remember it's never too late to start. With patience, intention, and sometimes a little professional help, you can transform your home and your life. Take it one step at a time, and enjoy the calm, clarity, and joy that come with living simply.